Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Heimvision, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, HM245 HD DVR kit. Now, as you can see from the box, we have 4 bullet-style cameras. These are hardwired to a DVR system. It does not include a hard drive, and basically the manufacturer reached out to me, like many do, and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing the product. Now, initially, I was under the impression, as per their rep, that this was a wireless system, not a hardwired system. And that's why I said, sure, send it over, because I could actually use it. And if it's good, share it with all of you. It's a win-win situation. Now, unfortunately, these are hardwired, but still, it may be of use to many of you out there because it is a value-oriented system. I think it's under $200 US. I'll include a link in the description. And still accomplishes what many set out to do, whether it's for home security or an office, business. You have, again, 4 cameras. The system, I believe, can be expanded up to 5 megapixel resolution. Human shape detection, aka human detection, motion detection. They, of course, have IR for night vision, IP66 waterproof rating, so of course they can be outdoors. You can get email alerts, video loss alerts if it breaks the signal, remote viewing from your smartphone of choice, face detection, and then camera blocked alerts, which, because of course if someone's blocking the camera, you probably should be concerned. Now, I thought originally that it also included a display, but we'll see what's in the box. I haven't opened it, had it for a while, and wanted to eventually share it. Nothing else to see on here. Again, no hard drive comes in this, so you will need to hook up your own drive, but we all know hard drives are not expensive unless you're looking at NVMEs, which is not what you're going to pick up for something like this. So if you're wondering what I use, I am all in on Nest. I have been since I had to rebuild my home post-Hurricane Matthew. So essentially, there is some paperwork out of the box. Get this over to the side, and let's take a look at what this kit looks like. So the first thing we see is the DVR itself. I'm going to put that aside because we will get back to it. And I'm just going to unpack it, get it out of the packaging, and then we'll talk about what we've got here. This feels like it's all the bullet cameras. I don't see a display, but it might live inside that box that you're looking at right now. So let's see. I'm going to start off by just stacking these up, and let's see what we've got. So this is the DVR control unit. And as you can see on the back of this set-top box, essentially, we've got access to all of the video in for the cameras. So looks like we've got a total of 8 camera capability. And then we have HD out, which is an HDMI port. We have audio out, which is typical stereo, left-right channels, a VGA port. We have an Ethernet port if you want to hardwire this to the network, which you will need to if you want it networked. And then we have 2 Type A USB ports, and of course the DC input for power. And if you turn the unit around, you can see we have an alarm light, an IR hole, and a record light and power light. And this is where you will need to install the hard drive, or I'm assuming, doesn't look like this can really be taken apart, you can just hook up an external hard drive. So if you have, like me, many external hard disk drives, then you can just hook it up and you're good to go. And as I mentioned, these days hard drives are not expensive, so very easy to get an inexpensive one and just connect it. So what do we have here? They have also included a little mouse, which I'm assuming is for navigating the system, because maybe there is, after all, an actual display in here. We have an Ethernet cable for hooking this up to your home network, a power brick, and now let's get to what should be the actual security cameras and that display. Well, I don't see a display. So in the listing, it It also said there was a display, but it appears there is not. So we've got a lot of hardwire here. I'm not sure on the footage. Again, I was under the impression that this was going to be a wireless system. I would have, I even told the manufacturer if they'd like me to ship it back, I have no problem doing so, because the cost of installing this, or my personal time of installing it, is something that, if I didn't have an existing system, I could use a few more cameras, but the expense of installing this for me personally, or my time, we'll see if I end up using it anywhere except for in a controlled environment, rather than actually, putting these around my house. Hardwired power brick and the 4 wire connections for video and audio signal coming off that, and this appears to be a coupler. And let's just take a look at the cameras themselves. Again, they are black, pretty low profile, weather rated, and you will get what I expect to be a decent HD signal. So we've got mounting brackets right here and screws, and then the bullet itself, which is actually really small. I like the form factor, metal construction. You can see, of course, the IR going on there, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, there are 3 more in this box. Again, I was under the impression that it was also going to have an LCD monitoring system, a dedicated little LCD panel, but there's nothing else in the box. So, and it wasn't advertised on the box. Again, it just seems like I got some misinformation, but I'll definitely test this out and see what the camera quality is like. Again, I have Nest cameras all throughout my home right now. Not throughout my home, that sounds wrong, but where I need to have them. And where I need to supplement, like with the puppy, who's growing up very quickly, I do have a Wise cam just in that area. We all know Wise just had a breach, but that's part of the drawback of going with manufacturers who aren't as large. This, on the other hand, of course, you don't have to have this networked beyond your home network, but then gaining access to it is another story. But that is pretty much it. Again, Heimvision is the manufacturer, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And for under $200 US, if you're looking for a complete system that you really just need an external DVR and a monitor to hook it up to, this might be right for you. I don't know. But it was something where, if a company reaches out to me and asks me to look at something and I do agree, I honor that agreement, because for those of you that don't know, I do not take money, nor have I ever, for a review or to test a product. I don't plan on ever doing that, because quite frankly, once you start taking money from advertisers, how can you really review their products without being subjective? So I like to keep things objective. Those of you that subscribe and follow my channel already know that. So if I get a chance, I will, just test out one of these to see what quality's like, but it's going to be more dependent on how interested all of you are in this product, because, security systems aren't for everyone. In fact, they sometimes pose more of a security risk for many of us these days than a security measure. But that's it. Again, the Heimvision HM245 HD DVR kit with 4 bullet cameras and the station. It is hardwired, and I will have a link in the description. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.